Doomsday 3.
Yeah, we had Doomsday 1.
He came from one of the toughest areas of Phoenix, most of his country, of course. Praying for safety and got people on the defense talking about it. You better get your ass to the ball. You better get to the ball. I just gotta say, when it comes to mortality,
Different.
for sure, and they would have thrown it off because this guy gets off you.
And I go to bed every night like, Eugene, man, I promise you that we got a What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. You know, this is a special day. You know, this is a special show, special day. You might be getting sick of seeing your boy Mike Tag, but we have, one of our greatest family members. I call him family because that's what he is. And one of our greatest guests, former Cowboy, all-pro, Eugene Lockhart is going to be coming on the show because he called me up. He said, you know, Mike Tag, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with these Cowboys. I don't know what's in Jerry's head, but I got to come in. We got to talk about it. We got to figure this thing out together and see if we can get these Cowboys right back on track. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring him in, but of course I got to do it properly. I got to get the right cuts. I got to get the right overlays, get this thing set, and bring my man Eugene Hit Machine. What is going on, man? You hadn't been in the cave in a while. We miss you. We love you. How you feeling? You look so good.
Man, I tell you what, I feel awesome, man. It's good to be back in the cave where everything happens. Mike doing a great job, man. And you know what, man? I kind of miss you guys.
We miss you, man. It ain't been the same.
I miss you guys like the fans miss going to the playoffs and then like going to the Super Bowl. I miss you guys that bad. It's been a long time.
Oh, it's crazy. Well, Cuts just gave you a shout out. You know, my man Cuts got you that beautiful piece. So he is he's in the cave. He's in the cave. Everyone's hanging. But listen, can we backtrack a little bit? Because the season didn't go as planned.
Let's go back to the season. Let's go back to when we talked about it this time last year, when we talked about what they needed, and now it's coming full force right back to us. Did they address their need? Were they all in? Did they fill the positions that needed to be fulfilled in order to make a playoff run? It's easy for people to continue to say, I hear this all the time now, well, they had so many injuries. Well, every team in the NFL has injuries, but they have someone backing them up that can step up and do the job. So again, it's a disappointing season. I think they came on a little bit at the end of the season, but the same weaknesses that we had last year, we're walking into another season with a new coach. God knows who he is. And I heard it was a guy from Japan, and his name was Win One Soon.
We need to win one soon, man. I'm getting tired of this, man. I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah,
I'm getting tired of it.
They're bringing him in. They're interviewing him tomorrow. So we don't know if he's gonna make it in though, because Jerry might turn the plane around in the middle of the sky and say, "No, we hired Dion."
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about obviously the season. Disappointing.
Yeah.
The injuries took their toll. You know, we had Terrence Parsons on last night, Micah Parsons' brother, and we were talking a little bit about, you know, kind of, you know, some of his thoughts and just, you know, his observations of the team. And, you know, I was good with McCarthy, and I thought he kind of got done dirty by Jerry. Jerry kind of put his back up against the wall. He didn't let him interview for Chicago. And then he trying to put coaches on him, like Jason Witten was his heir apparent. So Mike McCarthy said, you know what? I think I'm going to bounce. I mean, Mike McCarthy didn't have a job waiting for him. He's like, but I think I'm done with this. So now they're kind of in a weird spot. So, I'm asking you as a player, if you're part of this team right now, what's going through your mind when you're seeing all this happen? Does this give you concern, or is this business, or is this, hey, we got to do our thing? I mean, what's a player's thinking?
I tell you what, it's like when Jerry first came in, and he brought in Jimmy. I know you perhaps remember the Herschel Walker trade.
Oh yeah.
And when we got rid of all those players, and until next year, that was perhaps the worst time of my career. I think that was the 1-15 season as well.
Yes.
We bring in 4 or 5 guys from Minnesota and from whatever that had no idea about the system, had no idea about anything. And here we are, veterans, Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Mike Hegman, Everson Wall. We here sitting up, we're wondering what the hell is going on right here in the middle of the season, that you're trading everybody away that's going to make a difference this year. So it was like a year where we just threw away the season.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at it right now, and again, I continue to always say this. You can't expect good things to happen to you when you can consistently, knowingly doing people wrong. There's nothing good going to happen to this team until they change the culture, until they get someone in that he allowed to coach like they did Grable, like they did the coach up there at Detroit. Yeah. They bring them in like they did. I tell you what, like they did Dan Quinn. Yeah. The Redskins, they brought him in, and they got out of the way and let him coach. And look what he's done. He's been there 1 year, and he's in the championship game. And he left behind something that we don't even know how to spell playoff right now. No. And it's disappointing that most thing I'm disappointed in is the way that he did Mike McCarthy. Because Mike, he's been faithful. He's a Super Bowl coach. And I just think he deserved a little bit more respect than he was given, to hold him back and not to allow him to interview until you make up in your mind you want Jason Witten to be his heir. Now, I'm going to tell you something. What he did, he showed more character about, and he cared so much more about his respect and how people were going to view him. He said, no, you can have this, No. If you want him in here, let somebody else bring him in here and do it, because I'm a Super Bowl winning coach. And no. I don't have time to babysit. And so for him to say, no, let me go somewhere else, he had to be fed up. He had to be fed up with the way that the team was being run. He had to be fed up with all the things, the tools going through, and all these things. Every time you talk to a former player with the Cowboy that they had went to another team, they talk about how big a mess it was. The tools coming through. They have to stop and go interview, and
football not being the priority.
Coming out of the film room. Now you're supposed to be trying to get ready for the next game, but you're here going out there speaking to people that's on tools. It's just disappointing. But at some point, it's got to get better.
Yeah, and you talk about culture, and this is my biggest thing, and we talked a lot about it, last night, and you brought up the example of Dan Quinn. The Washington gets a new owner, they get their new GM, they get a new coach. They bring in some players, and they just change the culture of the team. That now they're a 4-win team. And I was dead wrong on them. I got to eat crow. I mean, I got to eat crow, and I got to give a guy a pair of tickets, my seats to the next game. But excuse me, they became a team that's in the championship game that has a chance to go to the Super Bowl in 1 year. And this is and they're not the most talented team in the NFC, but culture matters in football to me more than anything. I mean, how do you feel about culture? I mean, you guys had a strong culture. We talked to Terrence Parsons about it, and he said the culture difference in Dallas. These guys don't hang out. And I remember you telling me you guys used to hang out, you'd barbecue, you'd watch film together, and you just don't see that. I don't know if it's today's player or just the aura of the Cowboys, and these guys just aren't bought in to be together and be one.
But what it did for us was it brought us closer together as a family. And when you have that family atmosphere, there ain't nothing in the world that I'm not going to do for a family member of mine. But it's not going to be easy because we held each other accountable. The thing that we did was you never saw one of us by ourselves. We was always at Randy White's house, at my house somewhere. We were studying film. We was going through calls and different calls, what we do on this play, what this happens. And then when we got out there on the field, it became second nature because we spent time, because believe it or not, going to the playoffs was really the way our contract was based on. And if you're going to get your butt out there on the field and you think you're going to mess up and you stop me from making this playoff money, that's what the culture was like. No, we're going to kick your butt if you step out of line and not do what you're supposed to do. But the camaraderie that we had together, it's like everybody got their own talk show, everybody doing this, and you got CeeDee Lamb talking about Dak, and you got Dak doing this and everything. And Dak said on TV one time, I guess they read his lip, he said, "We suck."
Yeah, no, he did. He did.
Yeah, you got your starting quarterback that you just paid $600 something. We suck. That by itself, you know how for someone as that to say that is we suck on the field, we suck in the film room, we suck individually as a team. And when you got that type of atmosphere, that's all. They don't care nothing about winning. Yeah, they'll go out there and play hard, and they'll probably win a game here and there. But when it talks about champions and how champions are born, with the thing that champions do as a team, as individuals, what champions know what it feels like, not just one time, but every time we show up, we're going to have some championship in us. I tell you, I've been telling you this for a long time, Mike. They're not hungry.
No.
We need some people that will bring their lunch. We need some people that come hell or high water is not going to continue to call yourself America's team and you're from China. We're not going to, you can't do that. You got to have somebody that has some character, that don't mind getting in somebody's face. And I tell you, I think Dan Quinn has done an excellent job to be where he is. What does that say now about getting rid of it and wanting to bring in Jason Witten, who's teaching elementary school people how
He's
to
a high
play
school
the game
state
and
champion football coach.
Well, whatever you want to call it, you can call it whatever you want. It's not NFL football.
No.
I'm just saying, come on, man. And I think he's doing a hell of a job.
You said, and it went a little viral one time. You called the Cowboys an appetizer team. You called them an appetizer team. And when you say let me ask you, can the players overcome the culture that the owner has created in the way he is? That's always been my question. Could they win in spite of Jerry, or do you think the Joneses are just too much to where? Because this team's talented. Dak Prescott, CD, Parsons. This team there's a lot of talent on this team, but what is the ownership too much, or are these players, or do we not have the right dogs? Educate me on that.
The more when they start to feel that they have a little success, they've made a couple good plays, won a couple of games for. You got to remember, this is a team that was 12-4 for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yes, they can win in spite of Jerry, but then the more they win, the more he wants to take over.
Yes.
And that culture, the more he wins, the more tours come in, the more fans fill the stands. And then stop worried about winning and start talking about money and things like that. And that type of culture, I'm talking about again. You remember 12-4 season? Bam.
Yeah.
They was 8-0, 10-1, whatever like that. Bam. They were winning. They were just hungry. But that ain't good enough. That's why I called them an appetizer team, because if you just fill some of them up sometime, that's enough. That's all they want. They don't want championships. But that championship in Dallas, a Northern board at this time, and to see the way that it's been handled, even right now, people are confused. They don't know what to think. But we do know one thing: the ticket price is gonna rise. We do know one thing: they're gonna find something else that has nothing to do with football. No, damn well, Deion Sanders ain't coming to coach here. What the
No.
hell? What's all this marketing? See, that's just marketing. He probably paid Deion. I don't know if he paid him or not. He probably gave him a couple $1 million. Said, that, yeah, we talking and all this kind of stuff like that. Deion ain't leaving, and Deion probably used it as a way to get more money. Deion is not coming here, man. Aaron Glenn is not coming here. None of these coaches. He should have left Mike McCarthy right where he was and redid this thing again and bought some type of culture. Now you got to start all over again. After all these seasons, you got to start all over again. Come on, man. Come on. And I'll tell you what, the worst thing it was I saw this season was when the stadium was filled with more visitors than it was Cowboy fans. And another thing, this is what I call appetizer. They'll jump up in the first quarter sometime, quit. Third, fourth quarter, they're gone. Appetizer team. They're not hungry. They don't have no real desire. They don't have that burning desire to finish the game as they started it. They're appetizer team. But appetizers, once you get out of the restaurant, your ass is hungry again. but I'm telling you this. If you see what's going on right now here in Dallas, and the hardest thing for me to watch last year coming from the game is when people leaving in the third quarter. I saw one Dallas Cowboy who took his jersey off, went down, a Cowboy fan, took his jersey off, went downstairs and got a T-shirt, turned it inside out, and left the game. And I saw so many people crying, leaving the game, and just wondering the disgust. The New Orleans Saints game where they were disgusting.
Oh my God! Thank God I didn't go to that one. Thank God I didn't.
Man, I'm talking about for real, man. These people are hurting. They're yearning. They're yearning for some championship. Now you ask yourself, who's America's team? Who is America's? Where is America's team? Look like me. It's going through Kansas City.
Well, I mean, that's where you know they got to sustain it over time. I mean, Kansas City's having their run now, but is that the problem with the Cowboys is, and no one called themselves America's team. The Cowboys players, you guys didn't anoint yourself America's team. The fans didn't. It was given to them by the media. Do you think that's one of the things that hurts the Cowboys more than ever? Because they're in the media all the time. They didn't make the playoffs. You got Philadelphia and Washington in the championship game, but you go turn on
nobody talking about
it. Talking about the Cowboys every single day. It's Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. Do you think that is, again, part of the culture problem? But how do you overcome that? I mean, you can't overcome it because it's there all the time. But you guys dealt with it, and you guys dealt with it in your time. But the media is so much different now. Everything's so much bigger with social media and everything like that.
You got so much going on with it. Let me tell you something, Cowboy fans. I don't give a damn how many championships Kansas City wins. I don't give a damn about Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Your Dallas Cowboys. There is not but one America. We will always be America's team. We may not look like it at times, especially when we get this new coach named Win One soon. There's going to be some confusion. But don't get it confused. The Dallas Cowboys are America's team. Well, hey, we're everywhere. North, south, east, west, China, Japan, wherever you want to go, you're going to find some Cowboys. I don't know if you're going to find some Chiefs, but you're going to find some Cowboys. So let's don't get it messed up. Let's don't get it messed up. Even Jerry can't take America's team from the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody can, because hey, we did it right.
But let me ask you this, because you played for, arguably one of the greatest coaches of all time, and Tom Landry. How did
Yes, sir.
The Cowboys with the America's team and all that? How did he manage that with you guys? And of course he didn't have a meddling owner, but I mean, how did he keep you guys focused and out of the, because you guys were on the limelight? It's still the media in that time. It was still Dallas, everything. What was his process, and how did he?
Coach Landry didn't care nothing about that. America's team and all that drama and all that media. You hardly ever see him doing interviews and being talked about. He wasn't about all that attention. He was about doing what he was paid to do, and that's coach and win. Forget about all this America's team. No. He wanted to have a winning team every year, so he did it for 29 years, and we won football games. The hell with getting on. Every time you see your owner or your GM, he's got to tell you what happened in the game. Really? Every time you see him, he got radio shows and TV shows. Tom Landry never had none of that. Tex Schramm never had none of that. Gil Brandt never had none of that. How much more team? Everybody know you on the damn team. Everybody know it. But the end of the shame that you all in, but we all out of the playoffs. Come on, something got to change, man. The hell with the name. Let's put a product on the field that when people pay their $400-500 to get to the game, that they can at least leave, feeling like we got our money's worth. Yeah. Let's be able to do that. I'm talking about, don't jump in your damn helicopter. I'm talking about for real. What are we gonna do? When we gonna put a product on the field? When we gonna get somebody to let you know? Yeah, you're 82. I heard a little deal from AI. I was talking to Dre, my son here, about it. They was talking about. Jerry was saying, he say, oh well, you might well get used to it, because we may have some mediocre teams, and I want an owner that believes in what are you talking about, Dre? He was talking about he wanted the owner to believe in what's the new word they use? I forgot the word. But he said, you were looking at the new owner, and you might well get used to this mediocrity because he ain't going nowhere. No. But the deal is, I promise you this, there will be some excitement at some time before the season starts. There will be some excitement about something that they do. And I promise you, they'll ride on that for the rest of the year. But it doesn't matter if you're not going 12-4, getting in the playoffs, winning some playoff games, and with some hope, just some hope. But the culture needs to change, my man. We need a coach that believes in discipline, that's going to make everybody play their hearts out. And it shouldn't have to, because the players should want to win for the next coach. They want to win for him because they love him. They know he's got it all together, and he's giving them the mutual respect, but they will play for him. Look at Detroit Lions. They played for this man. They wanted to win for him because he gave them something. He gave them some hope and faith and let them know we don't care where we go to play at. We're going to win. We are the home team everywhere we go. What's the culture? That's culture. That's what you need. Look at Washington. Look what these guys are doing. I'm talking about young guys. Look what they're doing. We've been damn near 40 years, and we haven't got off of damn milk yet. It's time to get on meat.
No, hey, I hear you. I like to give some love to the lunatic man with the super chat. Jerry, Hall of Fame owner. I give him that, but he's a POS, a piece of shit GM, but still Dallas Cowboy for life. And that's a hard thing for Cowboys fans. Cause I got a message today. Someone tweeted me, said, man, Mike Tag, if the Cowboys, if this thing just spirals downhill, what do you do, man? You're a huge fan. You love doing your content. And I just tell people, man, I'm a Cowboys fan for life. There's nothing I can do about it, man. I mean, you can see it. I mean, Eugene, it. I grew up with the Cowboys. I'm going to die with the Cowboys. I feel bad for my kid. He's 20 years old. He hasn't been able to get a championship. And that's the difference is, you have these teams, and I don't know how you feel about it, Eugene, but you got these fans that are satisfied being losers, that if we get to the Super Bowl and they lose, they still get a ribbon. To me, if you ain't winning the Super Bowl, it ain't shit. I don't care about nothing else but a Super Bowl championship. And that's because they talk about, well, the Cowboys haven't been to a championship game in this long. Well, if they get to a championship game and lose, do you feel better? No. Oh, they got to get to a Super Bowl and lose. Do you feel better? I need Super Bowl championships. I'm not satisfied being 1-3 in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to be satisfied being 1-4 in the Super Bowl. The Cowboys are 5-3. I need them to be 6-3. That's going to satisfy me. But I don't know with Jerry if we're ever going to be able to see that.
And Jared probably doesn't know if he's going to be able to see it either, because 82 years old, health may be women a little bit, but I'll tell you one thing about Jared that you gotta love. He's a winner, and I believe in my heart that he's perhaps one of the best owners that's in the league, and I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for him, the way he walked in here and he put this thing together. And then right off the bat, couple years as an owner, he's winning back-to-back Super Bowls here and there. He's got a Super Bowl coach in Jimmy Johnson, and they're together putting this thing together. And I tell you, if Jimmy hadn't left this, you're talking about a dynasty that would still be living on. But again, and I have a lot of respect for him for the way that he builds the morale around for the fans. And I believe that he does care. He cares about the fans a lot, because I do believe that he wants to put something out there.
Do you think it's his son?
I just don't know.
Do you think it's Steven is the problem more? Do you think the son? Because right now they're saying that's where the battle is. Jerry, Jerry wants, Dion, let's say, and Steven don't want Dion. He wants to go Schottenheimer. And do you think there's a battle between the two, and maybe Steven has been the bigger problem more than Jerry?
Again, you got to understand, Jerry is still the owner. Steven is still the son. So Jerry really probably doesn't care what Steven say. But here's the deal. If you need someone to be able to look at this team, offensive and defensive wise, and say, what is our strengths? What is our weaknesses? And it doesn't take a Phi Beta Kappa. It really doesn't. To look at them and see on offense, you need to have an offensive line. You still got to have the running back that we talked about last year.
Yep.
You still got to have another great wide receiver, right? You got to have that. You still got to have somebody that's on the offense. You got to have a leader that's in there. Tell them, hey, let's go score. Let's go score. Let's go score. When you get down by 3, we can do this. You got to have somebody in there to let you know, hey, we're not losing this game. We're gonna fight. If the deal is with them is they have no fight in them. God damn it! If you're not gonna win, start a damn fight.
Yes.
Do something. Don't be thinking about your girlfriend and shit like that. Kick somebody's ass. Do something on defense. You gotta have some defensive pressure. We gotta have pressure. Look at when Michael Parsons went out. We had nothing. Marcus Lawrence out. We had nothing. Look at the same thing. You can't stop the run. You can't run the ball, and you can't stop the run. You cannot cover the edges. You're always playing zone. Something is going to. I'm 64 years old. I can look at the Cowboys when they play and tell you what every play that they're going to run. And I ain't studied no film.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You can't be that vanilla and act it and think you're gonna come out chocolate. You just can't. Unless you put some on top of it, your ass still gonna be vanilla when you get your ass kicked. You can't come out. You can't put that. That's just the way it is. That's just what it's the culture of this team. And I know you say, well, about the fans, they'll be satisfied with just getting to the playoffs. If you're in Dallas right now and you see what's going on with the Cowboys and how disappointed they are, and you got all these talk shows talking about head coaching search and this, that, and other, but the prices keep rising and nothing has changed. And I do not believe that the Cowboy fans that really knows who America team is, they're not going to be satisfied until they win another championship.
Yeah.
You're not going to keep doing this damn show. I don't give a damn how much you love the Cowboys. And they keep on being 6-16
I'll
and
be
10
finding
and
something
all
else
this.
to do. I promise you that. They're putting me
You
on
find
the edge
something
now,
else.
man. It's
You might
crazy.
well you might well take our ass fishing because then we become hungry.
That's
We become hungry, huh? Right? Let's go fishing, man. We ain't got time to be sitting up here for 3 or 4 hours getting drunk. Let's go get drunk while we fish. Shit.
Well,
That's
hey,
real, man. I'm talking about these fans deserve it, man. They deserve it.
They do.
They deserve somebody. They deserve somebody that he's gonna hire to come in like Dan Quinn, like they hired him up there once. Just come in and bam, they get out of the way. And just like Magic Johnson said, we hired our coach. We hired our coach. Now we're gonna get out of the way and let him run this football team.
yeah.
That's the time. That's when you're building championships. But hey, they saying that, but hey, I'm just telling the truth. They expect to win. They want to win. And look how these guys playing. You got a rookie quarterback, and he will be the first rookie when they win this weekend. First rookie in NFL history as a rookie to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Now,
I mean, and he's been a
that's what
great
I'm talking about.
quarterback. Yeah, and part of
All
me,
year long.
he's been good. And I don't like Washington. I got to be honest. I mean, I don't like Washington. But I respect what they've done.
There you
And
go.
and,
You don't
and
have
I'm
to like
happy.
them. I hate them too. You know, I hate them. Philadelphia. I hate anybody if they're not Cowboys. I'm just telling you the truth. And shit, I'm hungry while we sitting there talking about them. But I'm saying what he has built in 1 year, not even a whole year because he got fired, and then he went up there. It was
Yeah.
about 10, 11 months. What he has done, he's turned that entire city around.
Just the whole
And
culture.
man, the entire culture, they believe this little rookie know that he gonna win. And he's out there smiling, he's having fun, he's doing touchdown passes, they're blocking, they're tackling, they're doing everything they possibly can because they want to win for that coach.
Yeah.
You can't tell me. If you got the right man, you just got the right man. And we're gonna demand respect, and we're not gonna get off this damn field until we continue to win. It's a habit. It becomes a part of you. You know, it's your makeup. It's the way you walk and the way you talk with some air atmosphere that I'm gonna win. I don't care what it looks like right now in the second. We're gonna win, and that's what it's all about.
Do you think? Let me ask you, Eugene. Like a new coach comes in, and we don't know who it's going to be. Maybe it's Schottenheimer. I've heard Carroll. I've heard all these names. Should if you're coming in, should any job be safe? Are there any untouchables with the Cowboys? I mean, probably outside of Parsons and CD, but when I'm talking about like Diggs was, he was a little disappointed. He kind of had some dust ups with the media. You're just not sure where his head's at and his heart and his passion, his hunger. And I'm not calling him out. I'm just giving it one example. But I mean, what's your thoughts on this roster and this player? Do you need to change the guts of this team to bring in a new identity, or can they turn it around with a new voice?
It has to be. It's got to be a new voice.
Because I think of Jimmy Johnson. Let me like Jimmy Johnson.
That's right. That's exactly.
He would
Jimmy
get rid
Johnson,
of players to send a message. Like nobody felt safe.
You would be afraid to come into a meeting late. Yeah. Because he'll make an example. You'll be afraid to act like you falling asleep in a meeting. Or come out there on the field. You'll be afraid not to win when you're away because you're not going to get fed on the plane when you get on the plane to go back to Dallas. You're not going to be able to talk. You're not going to be able to do anything. You lose this game, that's right. That's just the way. Yes, it needs to be like that. There's no job should be safe, even though we know there's some are with the all pros and people like that. You can't get rid of your core. But the young guys that should be giving more and doing this, shit. Jimmy cut their ass in the New York Minute. I've seen him do it. He told one guy to get his asthma ass. This guy had asthma real bad. He told him to get his asthma ass on the other field. Jimmy didn't play. We saw a running back that was gnawing in the meeting. Jimmy cut him. So that's when they came up with the name is that a one-way ticket, and we call it the whisper jet. You flying your ass back home because you ain't got no return ticket. So I'm gonna tell you, that's when you know that you gotta play for somebody. That's when you know you can't lie. Look at the running back this year. Look at Zeke. Every meeting he's coming in late.
Yeah.
Then they suspend him. Come on, man. You think championship teams would allow that to happen?
Now, do you think that's
Come on,
ownership?
Man.
Because he's buddies with the owner?
But the deal is, when the players don't like what McCarthy was doing, they go to Jerry, they go over his head, and he makes another decision to demean the damn coach. You can't do that.
100% agree.
How in the world you can? Come on, for real. That's like my wife gonna tell me that I can't beat my kid's ass. No. Let them bring some C's and D's to the house. I'm busting that ass. Period.
Yeah.
And that's just where it is.
Well, let me tell everyone again, because we got a bunch of people jumping in. I'm saying it. You guys hit that like, subscribe, share. We got all pro Eugene Hit Machine Lockhart in the house, back in the building, back in the cave. We're talking some Cowboys.
Black Hall of Fame, dog.
Hall of Famer. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So you're being inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Don't forget about that.
So let's talk about that. Let me hear the class that you're going in with. I mean, we're all excited about it, but give us a little bit more information about it because we can't wait to even get more and more, get closer to this.
Well, I tell you what, and the man, I tell you what, this is huge for me. It's been like 16, 17 years waiting for something like this to happen. And, most of the time when someone gets inducted in the Hall of Fame, a lot of the guys are dead. But this year, I can honestly say with what I had to go through last year, been in the hospital for 11 months and 21 days with cancer, all these surgeries that I had to have, and to be here and in less than a month and a half or 2 months or so, I'll be inducted to the Black Sports Hall of Fame. It's a huge deal for me to see where God has totally brought me from. When it looks like you're down and you're not going to be able to make it. When there's something on the inside, the intestinal fortitude that's on the inside of you that won't let you quit, that makes you an American team member that will never quit, never give up. And I tell you what, it's an awesome feeling. So February 28th, 29th, they'll have all of the other guys come back and just be here right here in Dallas, Texas, downtown at the Renaissance at the museum. All the guys they'll come back and we have a luncheon, things like dinner and all those type of things. So, but on Saturday, I think it's at 11 a.m. That's when the induction starts. Okay. Drew Pearson will be introducing me, by the way.
That's
Drew
awesome.
Pearson will be introducing me. But you have guys like Michael Carter, Michelle Carter, you have LaDainian Thomas, Larry Brown. You have all these different guys. I'm talking about Calvin Murphy, great class that we're going in with. And I tell you what, we're excited about it. And I tell you, Dre, the media guy who's doing all the media for me, he's doing a great job. And he and his wife has been very supportive. I promise you, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I would not be where I am with a smile on my face, with joy in my heart, without Dre and LaShonda. They have done an awesome job. And for real, I love them very much. And I thank them very much. I don't know if they're back in there hearing me or not, but they know I love them and I appreciate them. But most of all, I appreciate the fans that really understand what a hungry brother look like. And I'm so glad and I appreciate the fans for remembering 222 tackles, 176 unassisted. I'm so glad that when I go somewhere that I know him. He did something. Everywhere I go, with hospital, club, hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, the hit machine sure enough gonna get in. So I'm just letting you know. That's just where it is. I think all the Dallas Cowboy fans, we want to be sure that you guys get an invitation. So we're getting you open invitation now. Mike, we'll send you, we'll email you an invitation. I
Yeah,
know you're
send me
going to
all the
be here.
information so I can get everyone to
Yeah,
know.
I
Yeah,
know you're going to be here. I know you're going to be
absolutely.
here. And Kelly
Absolutely.
and the guys. So anything else would be uncivilized because I wouldn't want to have to come and look for your ass,
No,
Mike, if you're not going
no.
to show
We're going
up.
to bring the crew.
Yeah.
We're bringing the Cuts. We're
Yeah.
bringing Kelly. You got Mark. I mean, you got Shady. We're bringing the
Yeah.
whole Cowboys Cave crew
Yeah.
because it's a great honor, and we're so proud to see it. The memories, and that's why I tell people, you are one of the reasons why I'm a big Cowboys fan. You're my era. Watching you play, watching the commitment that you had. 50, you're talking about number 56, that middle linebacker knocking people out, playing his ass off and giving your body that you're paying for today. And that's why I try to tell these people, your generation and the generation before you paved the way for what you see football players today. And it disappoints me that you don't get the respect and the help and things like that. A lot of former players, but it's a big thank you because you made the memories for me. The reason I love more that era of the Cowboys than anything, because it was just different football. And as a kid, you appreciated it all the time. And I had my 56 jersey, and you were our only All-Pro in 1989, our best player. And then they shipped you off to New England before we get this thing rolling. You deserved it. And they send you to that cold weather up in New England. I was so pissed.
Yeah, and I tell you, I remember someone asked me, what about something about the trade? I said, damn. I said, it's a cold, cold world. I said, well, damn, it's colder in New England. And I tell you what, that was one of the worst parts of my career. But being a Dallas Cowboy and being a part of America's team and what it really stands for, the Tom Landrys, man, the Gil Brandts, man, it's just awesome to be a part of all of that. The Tex Rams, they got out of the way.
I didn't mean to cut you, but you know who I saw? One of your former teammates, and he's Bill Bates, and it looks like he's having a lot of health issues. Man. He was at the stadium, and I mean, it brought me to tears. Because you think wasn't he just an overachiever? Just busted his ass. And any stories that you could share on Bill Bates?
I'm telling you, one of the most dedicated, hardest working guys. He didn't have that much talent, but he outworked anybody that I've ever seen besides me. Yeah. He outworked anybody. He was a captain of the special team. He was going to make something out of it. He was going to make plays. That's why you see someone, you wish that you had 11 guys. That's hungry now, see. That's what hungry looked like, is Bill Bates, and who became all-pro special team guys year after year. He didn't care what he contributed, but he contributed to the point whereas, this guy deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, become a special team player. But again, because he gave his entire body, he was hungry. People like he and I, we was afraid not to work hard because we perhaps could have lost our job.
Yeah.
That's when that fear comes in and it brings out the best in you. So you just can't walk out there on the field and just be comfortable. Just like preachers, you gotta watch how you handle the word of God. You gotta watch when you step on America's team. And AT&T said, you gotta be careful how you do that because something gonna happen to you when Bill Bates steps on the team. And I really pray for him. He's not gonna want you to feel sorry for him or anything like that. We don't feel sorry. We continue to pray for him, but he's got that CTE, just like a lot of more guys in the NFL. a lot of guys here on the Dallas Cowboys who were your favorite players, America's team players, they're suffering. We're suffering with it, man. And again, there's nothing fun about it, but you don't see us giving up and we're quitting. But you have to surround yourself with good people like I'm surrounded with, Dre and Shonda. And I tell you what, this is at this stage in my life, there's no way I'll be able to make it without them. And God knows I appreciate them. And we appreciate you Cowboy fans that's listening to the Cowboy Cave. We appreciate you guys to continue to pray for not just myself, but for all the guys, all the originals that gave their lives for this football team to become America's team.
Yeah. And I would say one thing to the fans is you get an opportunity to see these guys. And I know, Eugene, I was going to just, you're doing some appearances. You're at card memorabilia shows throughout the Texas area and through others. You can get a chance, get a picture. You can get a nice autograph, memorabilia, whatever you want. And it helps the players. It helps these guys because, like I said, man, they've given a lot to this game. And it's got to feel good for you when you see these fans coming up and they're sharing stories and they're sharing memories, that you guys have. You take a picture, you sign autographs. So is there any appearances or anything you got going on in the area that's worth talking about?
Right now I'll tell you what, we'll be in Frisco on tomorrow from 1:30 till about 3:30. Mm-hmm. We'll be signing, it's a card show that Terry Williams is putting together. And then the next week we'll be somewhere here in Dallas doing the same thing. But you can always catch me at Walmart stores. I have like 28 stores that I go to, and I visit like perhaps on the weekend when the weather's not that bad as it is right now. And you'll hear some of the greatest stories that you hear. When a guy was telling me one story we heard about Pat Summerall before he died, they was asking him, he was a big Cowboy fan. They was asking him who was his favorite Cowboy. And he started talking, and then he said that Eugene Lockhart was his favorite Cowboy. And for Dre and John to hear that meant something to me coming from the side from somebody of that magnitude who we knew that knew football and knew who players were. And for that to be said, and just to hear some of the other stories, I love doing it because you get a chance to interact with real Cowboy fans, old Cowboy fans, because I'm 64 now, so the younger generation not gonna know me. But but the guys that your age and my age, they know what real linebackers look like. They know what hungry look like when your stomach having missed meal cramps and shit because you're hungry. They know what salami and bologna sandwiches taste like when you ain't don't have a steak and shit. That's real.
That's real hungry.
Yeah, that's hungry. You gotta be hungry, baby.
Hey, Cuts by Jones is in the house. He appreciate you signed his cut. Hopefully you still have that cut he made for you. That beautiful cut he did.
My man, that is absolutely awesome. I never get rid of that. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Cut. You know how to cut it up.
He made one for Michael Irvin. It was hanging in Playmaker's place in his office for a while.
I'll see it.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
Well, it's cool.
So we get a chance when you guys come down and Cut, you be sure you come with these guys. When you guys come down, man, we'll get a chance to go by there and hook up with a whole bunch more Cowboy fans. Be sure you bring your autograph football, your helmets, whatever you need to autograph, because there's gonna be a lot of guys there. And hey, we're gonna throw it against the wall. Yes,
we're gonna celebrate. We'll be staying out all night and staying out a little longer.
All night. With the hit machine. I can't stay out too much, lady. I might not be able to show up the next day.
Nah, we'll make sure it's good. We'll make sure it's good. But no, it's always good to have the hit machine in the house, catching up. I know it's the off season, but we'll hopefully Jerry's gonna get something going and get us all hyped up again. But until then, it's like I tell people, you cannot take away the memories. And the memories I've had of you playing and other players playing, I'll just keep looking back to those because they were great times. And I'm going to show you something, Eugene. Hang on real quick. Hang on. I'm going to show you something because you're in the cave and people don't know, this younger generation don't know nothing about the hit machine, but, there ain't too many players They got their own
Man,
football
look at
figure
that.
right there. You know what I'm saying?
That.
They ain't too many players that got their own starting lineup figure right there. You were the Dallas Cowboys. You were our only star. So at that time, and you're up in my cave right over there, and you'll be staying there until it's time for me to go to the upper room. So, but we love you.
There you go. I appreciate it. I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for having me on again. And they will do it again next week. And again, if you're not hungry, don't show up at AT&T Stadium. You gotta be hungry. But if you don't wake up hungry, you're gonna go to bed hungry.
Yeah.
So again, my name is Eugene, the Hidden Machine Lockhart. Stay hungry, and I approve this message.
All right, man. We appreciate it. Cowboys Nation, make sure you hit that subscribe, like, share, keep following it. We will let you guys know Eugene Lockhart going into the Hall of Fame in Texas and Dallas. It's going to be a lot of fun. We will be partying it up. It's going to be awesome. So definitely appreciate it. Everybody, hit that subscribe, like, share. This was a special show. Had to get my man Hitman to get that feeling of the Cowboys, hopefully to pick us up. But he gave us the reality check. We're going to get this thing figured out. But Eugene, we appreciate it. Hang tight. It's going to end and boot us off, and then I'm going to bring you back on. But you guys take care, Cowboys Nation. We'll see you.
Hey, guys. Hey, Cowboy fans, subscribe. Subscribe right now. You'll never know what you're missing. I'll be back next week. Same place, same time.
We'll see you guys. Take care.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.